dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the twilight zone.
Bruh, y'all, I swear to God, when this man hear the sound, here he comes. When he hears my fucking intro, here he comes. You ain't slick. No. Look, man, I'm trying to finish this pretty quick. So, see, now you done got her started. Oh, God. Now you really done got her started. Go sit down, Zeus. We're not doing this. Go sit down. I swear to God, now as soon as I played the intro, here his ass came. I swear to God. Get off of my bed. Get down. Get down. Stop knocking shit up. Get down. Don't look at me like that. Off my bed. Off my bed. I don't care. I don't want to hear the sass. Gone on. These ain't you. Zeus, you swear everybody is your fan. I swear. Hey, y'all. How are y'all doing? Hey, Pika. Hey, Kitty Coo. Hey, Mimi. Yes, that man is full. Rotten. It never fails, though. Whenever I go live, he think that's, I don't know what it is, but when he hears that sound, he can be dead asleep, and he'll get up and bring his ass over here. That he was dead asleep. That man wasn't up. He was over there just snoring. Soon as he heard this sound, he woke up. So, there's a few things I wanted to cover today. Apparently, all hell broke loose in Memphis last night. And then, Laverne, Tennessee. Laverne. So, last night, they had a Memphis City School Board hearing. And apparently it erupted in chaos. And now they're trying to get the superintendent to resign. Apparently, from what I've read, it was because she took a private donation of $40,000 and did not disclose it, from my understanding. So now they're asking for her resignation. Now, mind you, she didn't have friends and supporters on her side to begin with. Like I said previously, they sent out a mass email to teachers basically saying you'll take this pay cut or, you can get the fuck on. And a lot of teachers ended up resigning and going to Collierville, Germantown, Mississippi. A lot of teachers ended up resigning because they were taking a pay or decrease instead of an increase. And then she did mass firings through email. So she's already had a shit ton of bad press. So apparently when they had the school board meeting last night, the $40,000 was brought up, and all of a sudden that turned into a witch hunt. And now they're calling for her resignation. Like I said, she already wasn't kind of popular with the fuck shit she did previously. So there's that. Yeah, I don't know who paid the $40K, but apparently it was found out, and I don't know, big dog. I don't know what happened. I don't know. But they said it parents was pissed, from my understanding. Chaos erupted Tuesday night. A special called Memphis Shelby County School meeting. The meeting focused on whether to terminate MSCS Superintendent Marie Fagan's contract about 8 months on the job. Ultimately, the board decided to delay the vote to January. Nonetheless, many in attendance at the meeting showed support for Fagan's, as the resolution on the agenda brought to light some of the allegations from board members as to why Fagan should be fired. Some of those allegations are Fagan's misled the board about overtime costs and did not provide the board evidence to back up her statement. Fagan's accepted, or excuse me, it wasn't 40,000, it was 45,000. She accepted a $45,000 donation without board approval. Fagan's was dishonest about federal funding and missing grant deadlines. Fagan's engaged in conduct detrimental to the school district. The resolution then went on to say some board members believe Fagan's had been dishonest and not communicative with the board, suggesting that the behavior was professional misconduct and a breach of the superintendent's contract. The school board meeting was packed with support with Fagan's, with the standing room only in the auditorium and people lining the hallway and filling up the overflow room. In the end, board members decided to delay their vote on whether to fire Fagan's in January. And the reason why they probably did that is because they did have so many people show up in her support. Yes. Yeah. I've been saying it. Our school system sucks. It does. Our school system sucks. And the superintendents we've had, I think there's been a few good ones, but recently, no. And then, like I said, with how she came into Memphis and did the shit she did with the mass resignations and the letter or email sent to all teachers, hey, nonsense, Laura. Some people do not like her. Bottom line, they don't. Which, I mean, I can't fault them. Baby, you took 45. To me, that's bribe money. To me, that's me though. That's bribe money in my eyes. But what thought process she had to think it was okay to take that money? I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the hell she was thinking. If she wasn't thinking, I don't know. I didn't even know you. Well, then again, I don't cover Memphis City schools like that or Shelby County schools. So I didn't even know you had to get approval for shit like that. So I'm going to put that out there. I didn't even know that until I read it today. I'm like, damn. Which makes sense, though. I mean, and then that's a lot of damn money. $45,000. That's a new car. That's a down payment on a house. Shit, that's a lot of money. But we shall see in January what happens. I don't know. But it's not good for Memphis City schools. I can tell you that, because at the end of the day, our kids is the ones suffering. They're the ones that ends up with the short end of the stick. They're the ones that get fucked with no lube. And I'm just going to be honest about that. Every year they're trying to cut different programs, and you wonder why these kids are out here in these streets. Well, just saying. And no, I don't know the solution, but damn it, if you ain't got nothing to entice these kids with, no, they're not going to stay in school. They're not. Then this one, I ain't gonna lie. I kind of chuckled at this shit. I ain't gonna lie. Because I told y'all, bro, they be playing bumper cars with our fucking squad cars and shit, right? I told y'all this every damn week. There's something happening with our squad cars. Well, this week, guess what? It was an ambulance and a squad car. Yep, you heard that right. A man stole an ambulance and then he ended up crashing into the squad car. Yep. Yeah, that happened. Yep. 31-year-old man stole an ambulance, took Memphis police on a high-speed chase, and crashed into the cop car. Yep. I don't. And I don't know what the fuck made him. I don't know. Drugs, pop. I don't know. But what happened was, I guess he was walking past the ambulance. I don't know. They were at Methodist Central, which is downtown. They left the ambulance running while they were in the hospital. Dude hops in that motherfucker and takes off and takes him on a high speed chase through Memphis. I mean, you can't make this shit. And it wasn't cold last night, so you can't say it was freezing. That was not an excuse because it wasn't that fucking cold. It really wasn't. Not yesterday. Yesterday I was fucking sweating. He had to be in. Great, thanks. Thanks, Rico. Now you got another fucking squad car we gotta cover. And then poor ambulance driver. That was probably a third party and private ambulance. Yeah. They can sue, but they're not gonna get shit. I mean, hey Shaylee. I saw this shit and I was dying laughing. No, it's not funny, but it is funny. Why the fuck did y'all leave the ambulance running? This is not the first time this shit has happened. I'm just saying, this is like the third or fourth time. I bullshit y'all not. This is like the third or fourth time of them stealing an ambulance and taking police on a high speed chase. So why the fuck would you keep it running? Why, Sway? Why? But whatever. Now the reason why we're here tonight, Laverne, Tennessee. I don't know if y'all have heard of the sex scandal that happened in Laverne, Tennessee. And I'm gonna preface this by saying I don't know what that girl was going through, so I can't judge her on what happened with her. I'm gonna put that out there. She may truly was groomed. I don't know. I wasn't there. So I'm not gonna discredit her or her story. But so the sex scandal of Laverne Police Department involves a woman named Megan Hall. Megan had an affair with the sergeant while she was married. The sergeant was married. Well, she also slept with another officer. She actually slept with 3 different officers at this precinct. She ended up having a threesome with one of the officers and his wife. Not tapes, excuse me, and not videos, but pictures of her was being circulated around the police department. They had an investigation. 4 people were termed, including Megan. Megan ended up filing a lawsuit against the city and won. She won $500,000 because she said it was sexual assault. She was groomed and all of that. So that's how she won her. Like I said, I'm not going to discredit her. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I can't judge this woman for what she did. Whatever, that's your business. It is what it is. P.O.S.T ended up decertifying all of them, as rightfully so, because they here's the issue, that the reason they got them fired. Bottom line, they lied, which ain't nothing new. They lied during the active investigation. They lied and said they did not have sexual encounters, yada yada. That's essentially why they got decertified by P.O.S.T. Well, the police chief also was placed on paid leave until the investigation was over. They let him come back to work. Then P.O.S.T turned around and decertified him and fired him, and he cannot work as police officer in the state of Tennessee ever again. The reason why they ended up firing him is because they said throughout the whole investigation, his attitude towards the investigation, it was unbecoming behavior of an officer and or a police chief. Now, I'm also going to say this. The police chief swore up and down he had no sexual encounters with Megan. He also swears up and down he did not know that this was going on with Megan. That proved to be a fucking lie, because he ended up receiving a text of Megan in racy photo, apparently showing some stuff. And he said, yep, in the text message. So they turned his ass, rightfully so. Okay? Well, Mr. Burrel Chip Davis he did try to sue the city, but they ended up denying that lawsuit, mainly because he filed it a fucking day late. So they threw that shit right on out. And then he's trying to get his cert back, because he said, I didn't sleep with her, and I was cooperative during the whole investigation. Nonsense. I'm trying to be respectful. I'm not going to hell with y'all today. I've been said my thoughts on this, and I've been called it for what it was. I think it is, because I'm sorry. That's just too many. And you were married. And he stuck. Oh, that was the other crazy part. The husband stuck by her for a while. Then he left her ass. He finally got smart and left her ass, because he was like, man, that's my baby. I'm sticking beside her. Like, he was down for the ride until he realized, like, no, this shit is deep. No, I'm not finna go there. I'm not. I already have my reservations. Like I said, I'ma shut up on that. I don't know what that girl went through. I wasn't there, so I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she truly was groomed. I don't know. But 3 is a lot. And you knew your photos was being floated around the whole department. So there's that. Just saying. But anyway, so Tennessee sex romp cop scandal that included threesome, raunchy on-duty shenanigans end with chief being banned from service. Nonsense. I don't think so. I don't. She knew about the photos. Yeah, she was young. I don't have her exact age. I'll look it up in a minute. But I will say that she was in her 20s. Like, she was young. So that's why I said, I don't know. It can go either way. I don't know. And I'm not going to judge that girl. If you want, I don't care if you fuck 100 people in 2 days. That ain't none of my damn business. It's just how all of this shit played out in the spotlight. Because when we first heard about it, all of us is sitting here like, wait a minute, hold on. A girl slept with 3 different people in the department and the chief knew. And nobody said that. Every last one of us was sitting here questioning the shit. Because it happened a while ago. That's how come, like I said, like so much shit has happened in between that time. She was able to file a lawsuit against the city, won $500,000. They fired all 4 of them. Like the disgraced former chief who was at the helm during last year's steamy sex scandal at a Tennessee police department won't be wearing a badge again anytime soon. One-time top cop Burrel Davis, who was in charge of the Vergne Police Department when ex-cop Megan Hall saucy tryst with 6 other officers. I said 3. 6. Made headlines, was unanimously decertified last week by the Tennessee Post. Y'all know who I'm talking about. That means Davis will not be allowed to wear the badge again and might have trouble finding a police gig elsewhere with that ruling hanging over his head. You're a police officer 24/7 and you're a chief 24/7, one of the commissioners said of the decision. I think your conduct was very unbecoming. According to the internal investigation, Hall, who was married, had an ongoing affair with one of the department sergeants and was tied to trysts with other cops, including a threesome with one officer and his wife and a romp during a Girls Gone Wild themed hot tub party. I'm just going to keep reading. Davis was not accused of having sex with Hall, but acknowledged that he was sent racy photos of Hall by at least one sergeant under his command and joked about the station house sexcapades. She's a tight little ass, though. Former Sergeant Ty McGowan allegedly messaged the chief after sending him a photo of Hall, according to the investigation. Yep, Burrel Davis responded. The scandal cost the cops their jobs, including Davis and Hall, who later filed a lawsuit claiming she was sexually groomed by a cadre of male officers and settled with the city for $500,000 earlier this year. Davis also sued for racial discrimination, but the complaint was denied because he said it was filed after the deadline for doing so. I didn't sexually harass anybody for receiving a picture, the outlet said. He told the commission. If you go back and look at the other transcripts, they would tell you that Hall was sending pictures to him and other people saying, if you want a booty call, hit her up. Davis also defended his message exchange with McGowan, who he had known for 16 years. These are text messages between 2 friends that were not on city phones, he said. So did I let my hair down and have trust in a friend? Yes. Did they use it against me? Yes. Am I going to be responsible and accountable for my text message? Yes. Was it a reflection of my job? No, because I did my job. Now, Miss Megan Hall, the former officer at the center of the Laverne sex scandal, when she reached her settlement, Megan Hall, the only female officer fired in the connection of the Laverne Police Department sex scandal, have reached a $500,000 settlement excuse me, with the city after dismissing a federal civil rights lawsuit against the department and her former co-workers. Hall and four other officers were fired in January 2023 after an investigation showed she and other male officers had sex on the job and then lied about it. The lawsuit filed in February 2023 alleged Hall was a victim of sexual assault while being groomed for sexual exploitation. Since the sex investigation made national headlines, lawyers for Hall said she had been subjected to public ridicule and negative publicity. Oh Lord, the fuck! Publicity has thwarted her attempts to regain employment. Megan Hall was vulnerable and optimistic 24-year-old woman who had applied to be a police officer in the city of Laverne. The lawsuit said, where Ms. Hall sought role models at her new job, she instead found predators. The now dismissed lawsuit named the city of Laverne, alongside Fire Police Chief Burrel Chip Davis and Sergeants Lewis Powell and Henry Ty McGowan, as defendants. It claims Davis, Powell, and McGowan, among others, used their authority to manipulate and exploit Hall. Megan Hall felt trapped in the role assigned to her at the City of Laverne Police Department, and in an attempt to escape, she nearly unalived herself. Then the city blamed her for everything. This lawsuit seeks justice for Megan Hall. Hall frequently experienced a workplace permeated with sexual innuendos and sexually explicit behavior. Some officers, like Powell, repeatedly asked her for sex, putting pressure on her to perform sexual acts. This caused Hall to eventually give in to their request, according to the lawsuit. Davis, who was fired after third-party investigation into the scandal, solicited pornographic images of Hall from the Laverne Police Department supervisors and actively encouraged McGowan to engage in sexually exploitative behaviors like non-consensual sharing of nude photographs and participating in degrading sexual activities. But Burrell, you want to claim you're innocent. You encouraged your officers to. I don't even feel comfortable saying that, but you encouraged your officers to do that fuck shit. Now, I'm sorry, I do have to fault you, sir. You're the fucking leader. You're the one who's supposed to set the fucking example. I'm sorry, if one of my sergeants sent me some shit like that, you finna be in my motherfucking office and we finna have a whole conversation. And your ass might not have a job. Fuck you thought this was? Why you sending me some shit like that? You trying to get us all fucking fired. The fuck? So, Chip, whatever the fuck you want to call, no, sir. And there's no way, no, sir. If they give you your fucking cert back, I'm showing my ass, because ain't no fucking way. I didn't sexually assault. It doesn't matter. You fucking promoted this shit in your fucking workplace. You had control over this shit. And because you were buddy with the fucking sergeant for 16 years, it was all okay. Much of the claims detailed in the lawsuit were substantiated by the third-party investigation. Ms. Hall is entitled to an award of punitive damages against defendants Powell, McGowan, and Davis in an amount to be determined by a jury for the acts committed with malice or reckless disregard described in this complaint. Hall's settlement money will not come from taxpayer dollars. The city's insurance provider will pay the sum of $500,000 to Hall as a gross settlement. The Laverne Board of mayor and aldermen voted Wednesday night to authorize the mayor to sign a settlement agreement between the city of Laverne and former police officer Megan Hall. The city said in a statement. The agreement was negotiated between the attorneys representing the city and Ms. Hall. The city's insurance provider will pay the sum of $500. Why the fuck? Which includes court costs, attorney fees, and expenses. The city denies any admission of liability, of course. Which I do have the lawsuit right here. If y'all want me to post it, I can. The settlement agreement. Now, we're going to go right back to Mr. Burrel, Chip, whatever the fuck you want to call himself. P.O.S.T voted unanimously Thursday to decertify former Laverne police chief Burrel Davis. Doing so means he cannot serve as police officer in the state of Tennessee or likely any other state unless he is recertified. That is a fucking lie. He can. I don't know why y'all just lied like that, Nashville, Channel 5, because his ass can go right down there to Mississippi and get a job. Just saying. Commissioners told Davis that his conduct before and during a sexual harassment investigation involving his officers did not uphold the professional standards of an officer or police chief. Davis had argued that he had no knowledge of the sexual relationship between officers until an investigation was launched in December of 2022. But once again, you lied. Chill, get your shit together. Figure out which lie you finna tell. Figure out what fucking lie you gonna tell. Well, you already told it to P.O.S.T, and P.O.S.T said fuck all of that. So that's when Davis said city officials asked about graphic images of Officer Megan Hall and others circulating within the department. No, it was filed afterwards. Davis said he cooperated with the city's investigators, and when they allegedly couldn't find any wrongdoing on his end, he was allowed to return to work. He said it wasn't until an outside investigator who was involved that blame was now pointed in his direction. Davis was later fired and sued the city of Laverne, claiming racial discrimination for his firing. He told commissioners on Thursday that the lawsuit was denied because he filed one day too late. All these things came up with the second time. I don't know where it came from. I didn't sexually harass anybody or anybody for receiving a picture. If you go back and look at all the transcripts, they would tell you Hall was sending pictures to him and other people saying, if you want a booty call, hit her up. Hall argued she was manipulated in the sexual acts by her colleagues and superiors. She sued the city for creating a hostile and sexual workplace environment. And that's when the $500,000 settlement, of course, they have no admission of guilt on their end with the settlement. And then Davis pointed blame back at Hall several times during the hearing, and at one point suggested that this should have been criminal investigation with Hall as the suspect with many victims. Now, y'all see why this shit is so messy? Do y'all see this messy ass shit? Boy. First of all of this stems from a private party on a houseboat and had nothing to do with PD other than the fact that an officer was there. If they were concerned about me, well, my head of internal affairs had sex with her on the boat, but he's still working there. Davis, it sounds like you kind of butthurt. You didn't get the fuck and you got fired. You got the short end of the stick, huh? That's what it's out. You big mad, bruh. Not saying she was right. Like I said, I'm not saying she was right. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I can't judge that girl. 6 officers. Your photos being floated around in the whole department. And these folks labeled you the booty call. I don't know. I don't know. That's fucked up. IA fucked her. I wonder, did IA investigate that? I wonder, did that IA officer, was they a part of the investigation as well? Now y'all got me curious about shit. So that's probably what happened, thinking about it. The first time he said they found no wrongdoing and they let him back to work. So it probably was his IA, his internal affairs, that cleared him. And then here comes the third party investigation, because that shit made national headlines. Everybody was talking about it. And everybody was like, how in the fuck did she was having sexual relations with 6 different people in the department? That makes sense, though. That makes sense as to why he had to do this shit twice. That makes sense. They probably did investigate him and found no wrongdoing, let him go back to work, and the third party said, no, sir. No, sir. Matter of fact, we finna turn this shit over to P.O.S.T. And then P.O.S.T. came back and said, yeah, no, you fired. Hell no, you was fucking fired. We can't save some shit like that. No, because at the end of the day, the optics on this is fucking horrible. The optics on both sides of this shit was horrible. It was horrible. Hey, Oklahoma, it was horrible. The optics on both sides. Like I said, she was young, she was married. He chose to stick by her because a lot of us Tennesseans was like, motherfucker, I don't even know you, but you might want to get up out of that. Because I remember how it was being spun to us at first. I do. Because like I said, that shit was all over the state. I remember that shit making national headlines. I remember it was making headlines here. That was all the talk. Because folks was like, one woman literally destroyed. And they did try to blame her for a lot of it. They did. I'm not going to lie about that. They blamed her and tried to blame her. And they was like, how in the hell do you fuck 6 people? It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. So the optics on this from both sides is, I'm not going to lie, it's fucking horrible. It is. It's horrible optics all the way around. But Mr. Police Chief, Burrel Chip Davis, I'm sorry, I have a whole problem with you sitting here trying to get your damn cert back. Fuck your cert. They made the right decision because, sir, you sit here and tell it one thing and then you say, well, I didn't have none, but you knew about it. You knew your officers was out here doing this shit. You knew your officers was treating her like a fucking booty call. Come on now. And once again, I'm sorry, one band, one fucking sound. You fuck up that reflects on the department. Your department fucks up that reflects on you. So at the end of the day, sir, yes, you're accountable. This was on your fucking watch. And you didn't say shit. You didn't check shit. You didn't do none of that because one of the boys that was fucking this girl was your homie for 16 years. So I'm sorry, no, fuck your cert. Fuck no. You shouldn't be able to get. They should add you to the Giglio list, whatever the fuck they want to call it here in Tennessee. I call it the gigolo list because that ain't the line. Fuck it, that's what it's gonna be. The gigolo list. They got a weird ass name for it. I call it the gigolo list. Fuck that. Davis did not deny receiving racy pictures of Hall from former Sergeant Ty McGowan in a text message exchange. Commissioners pressed Davis on the text responses, and one image allegedly sent by McGowan to Davis appeared to show a black man's foot in Hall's mouth. It's gigolo. Fuck out of here. Investigators said McGowan told Davis that the foot belonged to one of their colleagues. McGowan then allegedly wrote, "She has a tight little ass, though." And Davis responded, "Yep." Davis, how you know she got a tight ass? You, you responding, "Yep." How you know? Inquiring minds want to know. I just thought about that. I'm just sitting, I'm reading, listening, and reading this shit. And as I'm reading it back to y'all, like this shit now is starting to make sense for me. How the fuck do you know her ass is tight? Chief, I think you did something too. I'm gonna be honest. I think you did something too. Davis argued that this was a private conversation between two friends who've known each other for over 16 years. I understand what you're saying. That looks bad, Davis said. This is how you talk to your friends, commissioners asked. Yes, I'm not denying anything. That's why I don't understand why they say I misled or lied or anything. I don't deny any of that stuff. I mean, it's right there. Why would I try to deny that? What I'm trying to say is the findings they came up with are false. Davis spent the next several minutes telling commissioners that they had seen all the evidence. They would know that some messages are missing, which would prove that he had no idea who was in the photos with Hall, meaning that he wouldn't have known at the time whether Hall was in an appropriate relationship with her colleagues. First of all, if you know her fucking husband is white and a black man foot in, you know that shit don't make sense. Make it make sense. Her husband is fucking white, and I'm pretty sure you done seen him at the motherfucking Christmas parties. So you didn't think to yourself, whose black foot is that? Because I know that ain't her husband. Shit, I'm getting mad. What the fuck, y'all? Like, the more I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, because y'all know I'm a 2+2 bitch. I'm gonna make that shit equal up. I'm gonna make this shit. We gonna figure this shit out. And the more I'm talking about it, the more I'm sitting here thinking about it and how it fucking makes sense. Because when he went through the first investigation, well, she was fucking internal affairs head dude. So hey, I'm pretty sure the chief did get away with the first investigation. Then when the third party came, that's when they sat here and said, "No, chief, you knew about this shit. You were getting sent messages, and you did nothing to address this shit, and you encouraged this shit in your department." Then you come back and say, "Well, I didn't know nothing about it. If you would have looked at the text message, I wouldn't have known who she was sleeping with. I don't know who foot that is." Motherfucker, stop lying. Stop lying. Then the poor husband, I still feel for him because he was trying to stay with her. He was legit trying to work it out. And I'm like, she got a lot of things she needs to figure out with herself before she can be with somebody else. And that's just me being honest. I'm not trying to judge that girl, but she's got a lot of self-reflection to do. Yes, he was trying to stick it out with her. He was really down for the ride. He was down for the cause. He was like, "No, I'm riding with my wife." And then finally, I guess the pressure got to him, or folks kept, because I'm pretty sure if they harassed her, which I believe it did happen, I do think they harassed her. In this type of world, I do believe it. But I guarantee they was fucking with him. And, oh, so you gonna stay with a woman that fucked 6 dudes at the police? Where she work? Y'all know how that pressure is. I feel for him because he was like a real innocent bystander in all this. He's the one who got fucked over. I would have sued her ass and tried to get part of that $500,000. I ain't gonna lie, I would have sued her ass. Fuck that. You broke my heart, bitch. I would have tried to sue her ass. I want half. Emotional distress and some more shit. P.O.S.T. investigators responded by saying the only reason why some messages were missing is because Davis at first denied having another phone and deleted many of the messages in question. Davis, it's my phone. These text messages get deleted when I get them. It had nothing to do with this investigation. They were gone well before that, Davis said. Investigators haven't heard enough of Davis' rebuttals, came back to the podium and laid it out in graphic detail. Several messages from Davis, which they said showed he knew which officers was having sex and did nothing to stop them. These are the text messages between 2 friends that were not on city phones. So did I let my hair down and have trust in my friend? Yes. Did they use it against me? Yes. Am I going to be responsible and counter for my text messages? Yes, but no, not really, because I'm still going to put the blame on her. Was it reflection of my job? No. But yes, it really was, because one fucking band, one fucking sound. You knew your homie. He was sending you the photos, so how you didn't know he was fucking them? Come on now. But now he's fighting to get his certification back. The former police chief is fighting against decertified following a sex scandal that cost him and other officers their job. Chip was terminated in 2023 after a sex scandal was uncovered involving multiple officers within the department. Text message documented in a third-party investigation into the Laverne police sex scandal showed that department's police chief, despite condemning it, not only knew about the sexual misconduct between officers months before it was made public, but he also encouraged it. 5 officers were initially fired after the internal investigation showed officers were having sex on and off duty and on city property, as well as exchanging nude photos. A third-party investigative report showed Davis, who was heavily involved in questioning and fired officers, asked for and received nude photos before the investigation began. But Burrel, chill. You didn't fuck him. I have a hard time believing that, especially when you respond. Somebody sitting here and tell you she's tight in the ass, and you say, "Yeah." I still want to know how you know that. How you know her ass is tight? Why are you asking for new photos? But you didn't do anything wrong. You wasn't a part of the sex scandal. I think your ass got away scot-free, so be grateful for what the fuck you did get. Because y'all could be facing some real charges. Because that shit ain't making sense to me. It's really not. You sat here and you want to act like you didn't know your officers was fucking in the police department, on police property, in squad cars, all type of shit, but you knew nothing about it. All while getting racy photos of this girl, a young girl, 24 years old at the time. And I'm not saying she didn't make choices. I don't know. I wasn't there. And I'm not going to condemn her on her choices. Like I said, whatever the fuck you do in your private life is your private life. But this whole pretty much having her as a fucking booty call for the whole department, that's... Yeah. And you encouraged it? You encouraged your officers. But once again, you wasn't a part of that. You were just having conversation with your friend of 16 years. I think you got away scot-free. What you don't realize, you want to fight to get your damn cert back. I would take my ass and walk the fuck away while I can. Because if anything, they could turn it criminal against your ass. While you sit here hollering, it should have been criminal on her. I see some shit they could have. Yeah, I see how that shit could have been criminal on your ass, and you wanna. Oklahoma. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I don't know. I don't know how the fuck you fuck 6 officers. She could have been groomed. I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it at that. I can't judge that girl. Hell, I was a hoe back in my day. I did fuck shit. I ain't gonna lie about that. So it is what it is. But how all of this shit is played out with her winning $500,000, and hey, I ain't mad at you if you get your money, little baby. I mean, the taxpayers didn't have to pay for it, so all of the officers involved lost their jobs, their pensions, all of that. See, bro, you really could have walked like the punk ass motherfucking officers did here. They resigned and kept their pension. Your stupid ass wasn't that fucking smart. You thought you could beat the system. You was a dumb son of a bitch. I'm just gonna say it. You was a dumb motherfucker. You should have resigned during the investigation and got the state for what it was. I'm just saying, most cops do it. Yes. She was fucking on and off the clock. Yes. She was meeting them at boat parties. She was sitting here. They had a fucking hot tub party. She had a threesome with a cop and his wife. Yes. On and off. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to judge that girl. Whatever the fuck she got paid out of it. It is what it is. Like I said, I can't knock that girl. I don't know. I don't know what type of culture that was going on in the Laverne Police Department. If like that was something as like they made it as an initiation. Oh, if you want us to have your back, you gotta do a favor. So I don't know. I know Laverne is a small. I ain't gonna say that. Laverne is a small and peaceful town. If you want to believe that, it's a small town. It's in the middle of Tennessee. Um, it could be a system there. I don't know. I can tell you in those small towns, usually there is a system. And if you're not down with that system, they're not going to have your back. I'm just going to be honest. Pete, I wasn't going to say that. I was just going to leave it because, they do have black people that stay there. How, I don't know, but I wouldn't. You can't pay me to stay in the middle of Tennessee no damn way. I'm sorry. You just can't. You can't. Certain parts of Tennessee, you just know don't go to. No. Nashville, in certain parts outside of Nashville, cool. But Nashville is so damn high now. Your shit. If you want to stay even in the hood of Nashville, you're gonna pay about $2,000-$3,000 in rent. But so there's a possibility of that small town type of mentality. I'm not gonna deny that because Laverne, Tennessee is a small town. It is a little mixed population, but they have had cases of discrimination. Now, true enough, the police chief was a black man. And that's why he filed the racial discrimination suit because y'all are racially discriminating against me. Y'all fired me, but y'all kept the internal affairs officer that fucked her. Sir, I think you got away with some shit, be honest. Like I said, I think you got away with some shit too. Y'all were lucky to get fired. Nonsense. A lot of people had questions about this and how, why. And then when the lawsuit came out afterwards, because I'll never forget when the shit came out, how, like I said, when they first broke the news about it, they made it seem like she was just out here saying, I'll fuck you. Like, they tried to pretty much put the blame on her from the jump. I ain't gonna lie, they did. They pretty much tried to put the blame on her from the jump. Then when it came out that she was filing a lawsuit against the city and the other officers that was involved, everybody was like, hold on, wait a minute. What you mean lawsuit? What lawsuit? How the fuck you gonna file a lawsuit? Because everybody, look, I'm not gonna lie, and no disrespect to nobody, but everybody thought she was the work office hoe. I'm not gonna lie about that. A lot of people did. That was the talk in Tennessee, and that's what a lot of people said. But then when it came down, like, she was sexually groomed and things like that, and she was young and she was just getting in her career, some people took a step back and was like, wait a minute, hold on, that's kind of fucked up. And then when she got the settlement and like the third party investigation basically proved what she was saying and how things began, like they were pressuring her and they kept hounding her for sexual favors. The investigators did say that she was telling the truth. I'm going to leave it at that. Now, they did say that. And this was a third party investigator, not a IA or nothing like that. Nobody affiliated with Laverne at all. And when they had that third party investigator, thank you, Cutie Coo. when they had that third party investigator come in, he did confirm everything she had been saying. Like, as far as, them hounding her for sexual favors and things like that. Like I said, I don't know, and I'm not going to judge that girl. But who I am going to judge is this motherfucking chief and him trying to get his cert back. That's the reason why I'm here. What happened to her, I can't say. I can't call it. I don't know. I don't know what her thought process was. I don't know what she was thinking. I don't know. But his ass knew better. His ass knew better, point blank, period. You fucking knew better. And you promoted that shit in your police department. You sat here and pretty much told your boys, good job. And then they sit here talking about her ass is tight, and you say, yup, I still want to know how the fuck you know her ass is tight. I'm sorry, I know that sounds fucked up, but I want to know. How the fuck you know that? Why in the fuck are you asking for nudes? You was going around asking for them. But you want your job back? You want your cert back? Fuck out of here. Fuck your pension. Fuck your benefits. You should have been smarter than that. You should have fucking retired. That's what you should have did. But your dumb ass wanted to take it to trial, and your dumb ass lost. The system only... P could say it for me. Post system only works for witch officers, because it don't work for black ones. Tell the truth, shame the devil. Post ain't giving your ass. You got to go to Mississippi, Arkansas, somewhere, Alabama. They'll take you. Somebody else will take you, but Post said, no, you a liability. And you ain't got the complexion for the protection. So your ass got to go. Yeah. They wasn't trying to throw you a bone. Well, they did. Actually, really, they did. They had 2 investigations, basically. And your stupid ass, you should have fucking retired. If you thought about your benefits and all of that shit, you should have fucking retired. Come on, don't be a dummy now. But you was dumb as hell. You thought you could take it to trial. You thought the commissioners were going to be on your side because you were like, yeah, that blue line. No, it doesn't work for you. I thought y'all knew this. It's fucked up. You had to find out that way. You thought you was important, and then you realized you ain't shit to them. And then you thought you had a case by saying, well, the first time y'all said I could go back to work, then you filed it late. You didn't help yourself at all. You didn't. And then the lies you tell, you delete messages and shit. That's the thing. Like, Laverne is... Now, I'm not going to say Post doesn't sometimes give people their certification back, but a lot of times, if you look at it, black folks don't get their certs back a lot of times. Every once in a while, they'll reverse it. But as far as black officers or chiefs or something like that, no. Now, their white counterparts, it's different. Yeah, they'll reverse that shit in a heartbeat. Even if it looks like it'll pass and they got legitimate excuses, yeah, they'll reverse it. But with him, you should have fucking retired. Because I already know what he's fighting for. He's trying to get his pension and all that shit back because he done probably put so many years of service in. Too late now. You fucked that up. You did that. So sit there and take that ass whooping. You thought that shit was cool. You thought that shit was all right. You didn't correct it. You didn't try to sit here and tell your officers to cut the shit out, or I'm putting y'all asses on leave, or I'm firing y'all. You didn't do none of that. Instead, you asked for nudes of her. But you want people to have sympathy and empathy for you. I'm sorry, I don't have that. I rarely have that for people anyway. Especially if you do dumb shit like this. Now, I have empathy and sympathy for people that's going through, real shit, real life shit. But this type of shit, fuck your pension. That's how I feel. You let this shit go on for a while, it sounds like, and may have participated. I truly think you participated and you got away with that. I'm going to leave it at that. She got a payday. I don't know what, I don't know what that girl went through. The husband got the short end of the stick. He got shitted on. Nobody in this situation really won. Nobody. Yeah, y'all got y'all rocks off and y'all, But now the jobless, dead end ass career unless you take your ass to Mississippi, Arkansas, some shit like that. No, it even said it in the article, taxpayers won't be paying it. From my understanding and reading what I've read, it seems like they hounded her possibly and kept hounding her and kept hounding her until she finally caved. Now that's what I've read, and that's what I've read in the court paperwork. She pretty much said they wouldn't stop. Like it was an everyday occurrence. So I don't know if like she finally gave in to the advances and finally, and probably somebody gassed her fucking head up and was like, "Oh, I can get you a promotion real fast." I don't know. But she did. It was 6 guys or 6 different officers. A threesome with one of the officers and his wife. They had a girls gone wild in a hot tub party. Apparently, there was a party on a boat. Pearl, Sunday. That's the other thing. One of the persons that she was allegedly having relations with was the top internal affairs officers. And I think that's why the investigation really didn't go nowhere the first time. It wasn't until the third party investigator got involved when everybody had to, because everybody lied. They tried to make it seem like wasn't shit going on. So I don't know. I don't know. That's what I said. I'm not here to judge her story. I've done wild shit. I've done hoe shit. She got paid out of it. Well, that's the thing too, Pika. Like certain cities set aside a certain amount of funds just for shit like this, and it can be from grants or things like that. It's not always from the taxpayers. And I think that's what the city of Memphis is trying to do. Well, I think they're not trying to pay at all, honestly. And the money that they do have in the coffers, I don't think they're trying to give that to the Nichols family, but that's just me. That's why they're going out their way to fucking mischaracterize and pretty much label him a fucking thug. peak of truth, but what if she couldn't talk to her husband? That's why I said you can't really judge this girl. Because we don't know. We wasn't there. We don't know what was said. We don't know what happened with who. It's so easy to sit here and say, oh, she's a hoe and use that as an excuse when really we don't even know. She may have been impressionable. She may, I don't know. But if the third party investigator sat here and said, well, I can verify everything she's told me, I tend to think some of it was true about them grooming her. Now, that poor husband, he's really the only one I feel for if you want to know the truth out of all of this. Him. He's the one who got the short end of the stick. And then even, like I said, even with all this shit going on, he still tried to stay with her and work it out. He tried to stay with her and work it out. And I don't know if pressure got to him and he just finally said, I can't do it. Or I don't know what happened with them. But he said he was out of there. He stood by her the initial calls, like when the initial shit came out, and I know for a fact, because some of us, I ain't gonna lie, at first I was like, bitch, it sounds like you was the department toss, John, and your ass got caught. And now you want to cry foul. I'm not going to lie. That's how it did sound at first. I'm not going to lie about that. It did. How the news painted it at first was she was to blame. It was like she was the one who was making advances on them. That's how they originally tried to make it seem. And then when the third party investigator got involved and was like, no, here's text messages of this, this, and this, and this. And you could see where they hounded her, pressured her, yada, yada. But either way it goes, everybody in this shit needs some soul searching. I'm gonna be honest. Everybody. The only one innocent is the poor ex-husband, excuse me. He did have enough sense to vamonos. So, but like I said, I'm not even really worried about her. Hell, my point is the goddamn police chief, this son of a bitch, think he finna get his cert back. No, sir. No, sir. Fuck your cert, fuck your pension, fuck your benefits. You should have fucking retired in the beginning of the investigation. Your dumb ass wanted to double down and you thought P.O.S.T was gonna have your back. And P.O.S.T said, no, motherfucker. No, we not. No, we not. We cannot cover for this shit. We cannot cover for fucking 6 men having sex with one woman in that police department. We can't cover that shit. Plus one of the officers' wives. We cannot. How we gonna spend that? P.O.S.T said, we can't spend that shit. Get the fuck out of our face. Bye. Decertified. That's what P.O.S.T said. His ass, though, wants to double down on this shit. I didn't know about the threesomes. I didn't know about sex. A lie don't care who tells it. You didn't know, but you fucking was begging for messages, racy text messages. You didn't know. You didn't know, but you claimed her buttocks was tight. All right. I ain't gonna lie, man. If I would have been that husband and I would have found out she had a threesome and I ain't had a threesome, we got some problems. Real shit. He tried. I don't know where you going, Susie. Anyway, Mr. Police Chief, no, ex-foreman, whatever, Chip, no, you can't have your cert back. Fuck out of here, okay? But I'm not going to be here long anyway because I got to feed my babies. I hope. Look, I honestly didn't know how to tell this story because I'm like, some people may get mad because I'm not too quick to sit here and say, yeah, she's a victim. And then some people are going to be on the other side and be like, fuck that bitch. It's like, it's kind of hard telling this story, especially with everybody's parts in it, because I can see how she was possibly groomed, but like y'all have said, 6. But then again, like I said, we don't know what type of pressure she was under. We don't know if they threatened her or what. We don't know, you know? So I can't just fault her all for it. I fault everybody that was involved. Like I said, the only innocent person in this truly was the ex-husband. Like, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't like feet. You'll never see pictures of me with feet in my mouth. I don't like feet. I don't even like feet to fucking touch me. That's disgusting. I'm just gonna put that out there. Yeah. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Feet. You know what? Whatever rocks your boat. I'm not here to kink shame. It is what it is. Anyway, this was a hard story to cover. I'm not gonna lie about that because of all of the different moving parts and how you just kind of look at everybody and everything. Shame. You know, it's just. I, mm-mm. Yeah. Uh, no. I don't. I don't like feet at all. Uh-uh. Don't ask me to rub them. None of that. That shit is disgusting. No. But you know your toenails hold some of the nastiest germs. No. And so does your nails. Mm. I yeah. Like it was. Well, it was how she kind of flipped it because once they got caught, and everybody was like, ho, 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 you got the scarlet letter. You know, everybody was pointing their finger at her. And then she turned around and flipped the script on everybody and was like, I'm a victim. And everybody was like, oh, shit. We ain't trying to get caught up in this victim shaming shit, you know? And then when she got the settlement and all of that shit, it was kind of like, oh, maybe she did. But then when you hear the police chief talk about it, it was kind of like, you was down for the I don't know. I'm not here to debate. I don't know about her sex life. Don't give a fuck about her sex life. I just hope she's smarter with it now than that type of shit. Don't if you were manipulated, don't let nobody else do you like that, baby. They'll have you out here in red light district walking down the street. Don't do that to yourself. Don't. Have more self-respect for yourself. I get wanting to have fun and things like that. You know, affairs can be steamy and wild. I get that wholeheartedly. Been there, done that. Not innocent. But don't let these folks do you like that because you see how you ended up in this story. You see how you turned into in the story. And you see how people villainized you in the story. Don't do this. But then again, That's why she filed the suit, because she can't get gainful employment nowhere, because everybody knows about Megan Hall and the shit she was doing with Laverne police. So, anyway, food for thought, y'all. But I'm finna get off here and feed my dogs and feed myself. Oh, y'all have a good night. I know I probably fucked y'all's head up tonight. I'm sorry. It fucked my head up when I caught up on all of this shit. So I figured let me fuck their heads up with it. So, but y'all have a good night. Make sure y'all hit that like, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.